What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's second exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
And for this exclusive segment, we got our weekly best bets. Now, last week we went 3-3, a measly 3-3, but the weeks before that, we've been absolutely killing it.
But us being 11-3 through the past 3 weeks brings us to 14-7.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
50%? No.
Don't listen to his math.
I'll tell you a second. 14.
Be sure to tune in, check out this whole entire episode. Also, be sure to check out our other content this week. We got a Stardom Sit-'em video going up, and we also got our weekly predictions going up. So be sure to check all of that out.
Yeah, so yesterday we uploaded, like Ryan said, we uploaded our Week 5 Fantasy Football Stardom Sit-'em. Be sure to check that out and set your lineups. We've been pretty hot on that too lately. I don't know. Maybe we should just become a fantasy podcast full time.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the greatest podcast on turf. And then, so this is our Best Bets Thursday. Be sure to go put in your bets for the game tonight. Be sure to get your Stardom Sit-'ems for the game tonight that we talked about yesterday, because there were some guys in the game tonight that were talked about. And then tomorrow we're releasing our predictions, talking about tonight's game tomorrow. But these predictions are being recorded Tuesday, October 4th at 8:50 p.m. I know that was a lot to take in, but real quick before we get into any best bets, I'm going to tell you guys about today's sponsor, my family's business, Little Italy Pizzeria. It's the best cheesesteaks and the best pizza in the state of Delaware. Stamp. I make the best cheesesteak in the state of Delaware. My dad makes the best pizza in Delaware. It's that simple. If you go to either Little Italy location and show proof that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, The Greatest Podcast on Turf, you are eligible for a 10% discount off your already cheap prices. If you want to inquire about any catering gigs, job listings if you're in the area, the link to Little Italy's brand new website is at the bottom of our description, so be sure to check that out. And I took all favorites this week.
And I took all dogs, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Start us off. I'm rocking with the 49ers minus 6.5 at the Carolina Panthers. It's simple as this. As much as I hate to see it and admit it, the Panthers blow. And after what we saw in last night's game, the 49ers are a force to be reckoned with. They just went and dogged the defending Super Bowl champion Rams. I was right about Talona Hufanga, 5th round safety out of USC that the Niners drafted. I was right about him, so I just want to throw that out there. But no, I mean, I don't think that the Panthers are going to be able to do anything on offense against the 49ers defense with how good that they've looked through the first 4 weeks. They've been putting constant pressure on quarterbacks no matter what offensive line they're going against. Their secondary has been phenomenal. And the Panthers just really haven't looked all that great. Yeah, the Panthers are at home. The Niners have to come across country after a division game. But I don't care. Give me the Niners minus 6.5. I think that this is arguably a lock of the week, but this isn't my lock of the week because my next one will be. But now the Niners minus 6.5, I'm pretty confident taking that. I know it's a big spread, but the Panthers are just not a good football team, and the 49ers have proved that they are a very good football team. So give me the Niners minus 6.5 at the Panthers this week.
All right, so my first best bet this week. Deciding on which one to go with. I'm going to go with the Giants plus 8 versus the Packers. Now, it's technically at the Packers, but it's actually in London, if we're being completely honest here. So it's a neutral site for this game. And 8 points, in my opinion, is just too much. I know that the Packers are a better team than the Giants, but the Packers, they really haven't beaten anybody by 8 except for the Bears, and I'm pretty sure the Giants already beat the Bears. So
Yeah, they did.
with that
With Saquon
logic,
at quarterback.
I'm really not positive what we're seeing to make the Giants make the Packers 8-point favorites over the Giants. I mean, maybe the quarterback situation, possibly. But I mean, they barely beat the Patriots 27-24
In overtime.
They lost to the Vikings. They barely beat the Buccaneers. The Packers don't look good on offense at all.
Nope.
The only type of success that they're having is running the football. And I think that's what we're going to see in London. I think it's going to be a boring-ass game where both teams just run the ball. And honestly, 8 points is just too much for me. I don't see the Packers running up the score on them. 8 points is too much. Barkley looks like a stud this season. The Packers, I think, need to run the ball more. Matt LaFleur, I'm not sure he knows what he's doing as a head coach. I know he's got the highest winning percentage of all time as a head coach.
I hate that.
But dude needs to run the ball, and I think if he does, it's going to be a low-scoring game. So give me the Giants plus 8.
I don't think 8. I think 8 points is a lot in some cases, but in this case, it's not. With my lock of the week, I'm going the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 8.5 at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. It's simple as this. Tom Brady owns the Falcons. He's getting a divorce. They hired divorce lawyers. Tom Brady's pissed off. He's coming for that 8th Super Bowl ring, and he is going to give Giselle a big F you, I'm God. and he's going to go blow out the Falcons by more than 8.5. That's my lock of the week. It's literally simple as that.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are also at home 2 weeks in a row, and the Hurricane just rolled through there. So if there is a time where there is the most momentum for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it is this week right here. Coming off a loss, Hurricane, divorce. If they don't win against Tampa Bay by more than 8, you just can't buy a win. Jerry.
Literally Jerry.
Next up, I'm going to take my Dallas Cowboys plus 4.5, and I also kind of like the under against the Rams. Now, the Cowboys, they haven't allowed 20 points to a team yet. I think that speaks volumes to how good this
defense really
how
is.
good this defense really is, yeah, and possibly how bad the offense is, because they just like to stay on the field, not score any points. But the Cowboys, they lost to the Buccaneers by a decent margin. Sure, that's fair. Beat the Bengals, beat the Giants, beat the Commanders, and now we're playing against a Rams team that doesn't look good at all. I think the Cowboys actually have a chance to win the game outright. I don't love it because the Rams are, kind of staying on the West Coast back-to-back games, and they just got humiliated in San Francisco, so they'll probably win. But 4.5 seems way too much for this defense and how bad the Rams are playing, with how bad Matt Stafford's playing. This is an opportunistic defense that, with some ball-hawking players that likes to get turnovers, with Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, who love getting sacks and love stripping the ball, and then Trayvon Diggs, who loves jumping routes. It just screams at Matt Stafford pick 6, and the game is closer than 4.5. And the under, I love the under because the Cowboys don't allow points, and the Rams can't score them either. So give me under 43.5.
Yeah, Matt Stafford has sucked.
Dude,
he was proving me wrong when I liked him, and then I was right about him, and then he's proving me wrong again. So
dude just sucks.
Matt Stafford, whatever problem you have with
Matt
Stafford, if you have a problem with me, let's talk on the podcast. Let's settle it. If you're watching this video, let's talk about it.
Dude's just sorry.
And my final best bet of the week. This is kind of an easy one. I played it safe with this one. I'm going the Chargers -3 at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are just the Browns. We talked about it on Monday's podcast. The Browns are literally the Cleveland Browns. They'll look good one week, they'll suck the next week. I just think the Chargers are going to be able to take the top off of this defense that has been very, very, very vulnerable to these deep threat receivers. I think Mike Williams is in for a monster game. I think Josh Palmer's in for a monster game. Gerald Everett's going to do his thing. I'm sure Keenan Allen will get his too. I just can't see the Browns keeping this within a field goal, honestly, against the Chargers. The Chargers are playing pissed off. Justin Herbert's hurt. He looked pretty good against the Texans on Sunday. So, I'm rocking with the Chargers -3. And real quick, I always forget to say this in the video. Again, we're recording this Tuesday at 9 p.m. These lines are subject to change. But we are rocking with these bets. No matter if it changes by half a point, it doesn't. I can't speak for you, but it really doesn't affect me in any shape or form. I plan these bets strategically, so if they do change, I'm still rocking with them. So, I'm taking the Chargers -3. I think the Browns are just the Browns, and they're not good.
Next up, I'm taking the Cardinals at home against Philly. Now, I got +5, so it's probably 5.5. I just didn't write it down.
It's toward the bottom, I think. Okay. Just do control. There we go.
Yeah, it's +5 right now, so that's going to change, and it's going to be 5.5 or 4.5. Either way, I'm taking the Cardinals at home against Philly. Them being +5 is basically saying that Philly is 8 points better than the Cardinals in a neutral field, and I don't think I respect that much. Cardinals being at home, I don't see Philly being 5-0. It's just not the deck of cards for them, unfortunately. I know that they've been balling out, and I'm not going to disrespect them in any type of way. But if you look at the teams that they played, I have said that they suck multiple times on this podcast, and it's not even a hate against Philly. It's just they just suck. It's the Jaguars, the Lions, the Vikings who don't have a coach, and who's the other team that they beat?
Vikings,
Lions,
Washington,
football
team.
Yeah, Washington.
Commanders.
Teams that are just horrible at their jobs. So give me the Cardinals +5 at home against Philly. If they don't win the game outright, they'll probably cover the 5. Kyler's better than Jalen Hurts. Granted, Kyler's team absolutely sucks, and the dude just has. I think he just has the mentality of, I'm the best player on the Cardinals, and I'm just going to carry my team to victory, and put my body through just literal hell in order to do so.
I respect it
because dude looks miserable out there,
and I love it. I love that energy. I love that dog. That's why I like Tate Martell so much. Back in the day, when he was playing football.
Take my time, but I don't know. Yeah, you can somewhat see him. But give me the Cardinals +5 at home against Philly. 5-0 is not a deck of cards for him, so give me the Cards.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap up this week's weekly best bets. Again, through the past 3 weeks, we are 14-7, so that's 2. I guess for every 2 we get right, we get 1 wrong.
So there you go.
For every 2 we get right, we get one wrong, which is fine. We are the greatest podcast on turf. It's in the name. Go fill out your parlay cards. Go win some free money this weekend. And we will see you guys tomorrow with our Week 5 NFL predictions.
See ya.
Peace.